Hey y'all, it's Janine, and I just recently reshaped my eyebrows, changed the shape of them pretty dramatically. My eyebrows used to go pretty just straight across with just a little bit of an arch here, and I wasn't really happy with that, and I didn't like the way it framed my eye. I felt like it just kind of added to the, because I do have that heavy hooded eye and it's a little bit droopy, and I felt like just having kind of a droopy eyebrow just added to the droopy look of my eye. So I wanted to bring my arch up, and kind of play around with that and have, a higher arch, which I felt like would give my eye a visual lift. And it took some doing. I got, let me show you real quick, this kit from NYX with the stencils, thinking that would help me, and the stencils didn't so much, but I'm going to go into more of that, in the video. But anyway, so I finally did achieve a shape for my eyebrows that I liked, and a technique and method, for filling them in that I feel comfortable with, and I feel like I achieved the results that I'm looking for. So I wanted to, actually I had a request to film a tutorial on it and show y'all how I do this. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right in and show you how I achieve my eyebrow look. Okay, my first step, I take, this is my NYX concealer in a jar, and my color is beige, and of course you can take whatever way you prep and prime. This is just the way that I prep my eyelids and my eyebrows. I've tried the eyebrow gels, but I find that they just don't work that well for me, and then they end up making my eyebrows a little bit shiny, and not in an attractive way after I put on my eyebrow powder. So this is what works for me. Kind of helps the hairs lay down, and then sets a nice base for the eyebrow powder to stick to. And I do just put it all over my eyelid too, and that helps prep my eyes for my eyeshadow as well. Okay, I've got that prepping done, and I'm going to take my NYX Eyebrow Kit. I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about this. The stencils did not work well for me. There are only 3 in the pack, and there's large, medium, and then a small one. And of course the large was just entirely too large. I mean, you can see it would have given me a really, really large eyebrow. And the medium I found was still a bit too big, and you can see there. And the small was better, but it still just really didn't fit my eyebrow well, or my eyebrow shape well. But I did use it to begin with, and basically what I did with it was I found that, the inside corner right there, and then I just laid that front part down. And so I just kind of used the edges to just help me start getting my eyebrow shape. So I drew it in, and I used the little brush that came with the kit at first, and then I just kind of used the outline edge, and then I took the stencil off, and then I took the tail part and kind of fit it over where I wanted my tail to be, and then again just kind of use the outside edges to draw it in. But you can see, to make that happen, I was having to, do a lot of work like that, and it just wasn't working that well for me. So the makeup forum that I belong to, makeuptalk.com, I just went on there and I asked the girls for some help, and told them what I was struggling with and what I was trying to accomplish. And they gave me some wonderful tips, and I was able to incorporate those tips, and now I have an eyebrow routine that I'm really happy with, and I like the shape of it. One of the girls reminded me that of that diagram, the one that you've seen where it shows, how to line your eyebrows up, to take the, it should start right here, and then to take your pencil and draw and line it up with the outside corner of your eye, and then that's where your eyebrow should end, and then to take the pencil and look straight ahead and line it up with the inside black part of your pupil, and that should be where the top of your arch is. So I just took her suggestion and did use that diagram, and when I was doing it I used a colored pencil so that I could really see well. I didn't use a brown pencil because it just kind of disappeared into my eyebrows, and I used it so when I lined it up I just kind of pulled it down and made a mark, and then when I did it here again I just kind of pulled it down and made a mark, and here and made a mark, and then I went in with that colored pencil and I drew, you know, kind of connected the dots, and I drew my shape in the way I wanted it. And then that's when I pulled my tweezers out and I cleaned up everything that was outside of that line. And you can see right here I'm still kind of growing in, because I saw also where I needed to grow, let my eyebrows grow in. So right here they're still growing in. So once I got that basically done and got my tweezing done, then I took makeup remover and I removed that all those lines. And then the other tip that I got that really came in very handy was I ditched this little brush that came with the kit, because I was using this, and even though it does have a fairly fine point to it, it's still just it wasn't applying the powder well, and it was a little bit messy. And one of the girls there gave me the tip to use a really nice, really fine angled eyeliner brush. And this has been what's working really well for me, to go in and use it to draw my brows in and then fill them in, and it distributes the color well and gives me nice sharp fine edges. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that real quick how I do it. The first thing I do is basically how I started out, because it just seems to work well for me, and that's basically to draw my shape in. So I start right here, and there's my inside line, and then I just follow the edge of my eyebrow line up towards my arch. And I come down here, and again I just try and draw as straight a line as possible towards my arch. And so you can see that little gap, that's where I'm trying to let everything fill in. And now I come down and do the tail. So now that I have my basic shape on, I just go back in and just fill it in with just nice short feathery little strokes. And this is the boring part. What's hardest right now is right here, trying to fill it in dark enough so that it blends well with my eyebrows, until the hairs grow in a little bit more there and fill in. They're kind of sparse, so it looks a little odd, but eventually it'll fill in and look more natural. Okay, that's basically how I do it. Now you can see I've drawn over a little bit here, and the way I deal with that is just take a makeup remover wipe and put it on my finger like that, and just clean the edges up. And you can always go back in with your concealer and also use that to help clean the edges up. and you can see what a huge difference it makes, you know, this eyebrow compared to this one. It just really frames the eye very nicely and sets a nice stage for the eye makeup. The next step, I take a very small shader brush. I can get it out of there. Something like this, just has a nice round dome bristles to it. And I'm sorry, I haven't shown you the inside of this. So this is the powder that I've used. I've tried all three of these colors and I've tried blending them, but I keep going back to this one because this one seems to be the color that works well with the color of my eyebrows. And now I take this light shade here on a very small shader brush and just go in here like this. I put a little bit too much on, but that's okay. When I put on my eyeshadows, I'll blend it out. And also the other tip is since that first time when I first shaped them into this new shape, I told you that I drew in everything with that colored pencil and then plucked everything that was, you know, tweezed everything that was outside of that line. I pretty much do the same thing for maintenance. I get the eyebrow shape in place and then I go back in with my tweezers and tweeze any excess. So that way I'm always making sure that I'm not tweezing out anything, you know, that I don't want to. And that would be hard for me to do if I, like right now, if I just tried to tweeze this eyebrow where I'm trying to fill it in, it would be hard for me to distinguish what, you know, I need to leave here and what I need to take away. And so this is what works well for me. But anyway, just go in with this white powder and just brighten up and again help clean up that line and make it look nice and sharp. And that's my eyebrow routine. Well, that is everything, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope that maybe there was something in my experience and you know, in my journey of changing, you know, my eyebrows that may have helped you and gave you some pointers and tips that'll work for you. So thanks for watching and have a great day.